Welcome to episode 2 of Turn the Lights Out podcast. It's episode 11 if you're listening just on the audio on iTunes. Today we have two very special guests. We have British title challenger Dale Evans and flyweight Commonwealth champion Jay Harris. How are you doing, boys?
Very good, thank you. You all right?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, good.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
First of all, congratulations on finally getting your shot.
Thank you.
About time. We were talking before, it's been about 12 months, 13 months since you've officially had the...
Yeah, well, it was last September so it's 10 months, 10 months since the last fought for the final eliminator, and I've just hung around, kept myself in the gym, kept busy. We are today now, so 3 weeks this Saturday, I'm fighting for the British title.
He wasn't expected, was he, to defend until September? So he had quite a quick turnaround on ski.
Yeah, I think he mentioned he did mention after his last fight, he called me out on Box Nation, I think it was, and said I won him on July the 8th, so here we are.
It seems like people have been jumping the queue, like Shane Singleton. Like you say, you've been 12 months, you've actually said you won the eliminator, you're next, and then he's defended it twice, I think, in that time. So what's going on there?
I won my eliminator. The situation with Singleton, I think he's always been a mandatory before me. When Skeet defended the first time, he fought a guy called John Thane. I think he was a Scottish fella, and Singleton had to pull out with injury, so obviously they had to replace him with someone. But somehow, because I think it was because he provided a legitimate, doctor's note that he had had an injury. He still held his mandatory position. Someone else stepped in, and then Singleton was still in front of me again. So so I can see why you say that they've been jumping the queue, but I think he's held his mandatory position all the way through. And then now it's my turn. I'm not. I don't really mind this year now, and I'm ready for it.
Like you say, you're fighting Bradley Skeet, who's been on. He's been on a great run, in all fairness to him. He seems to be getting better each fight. There's talk, I don't know whether it's a bit premature, that he's world-class or potential to be world-class, but what do you make of his recent performances, and what do you think you've got to offer come July the 8th?
I watched his fight against Singleton, obviously. I seen it going that way from before the fight. I thought that was going to happen. He started off not really doing a lot. I think he let Singleton do what he wanted him to do, and when he wanted to switch it on, he pulled himself out of first gear, and he stopped him when he wanted to. And I think someone like myself, who has the physical strength and 10 times the punching power that Singleton does, he won't be able to bully me like he done to Singleton. I watched Skeet against Eggington. I don't think Eggington boxed to as good as he can do, because obviously his recent performances have been brilliant as well. Obviously knocking out Malignaggi, Frankie Gavin, So I was asked a question earlier. What we're saying about previous opponents people have had, it don't really work like that. Like Sam Eggington's knocked out Frankie Gavin's beaten Skeet, so you can't really go off. But from what I've seen of Skeet, his only loss is to Gavin. Again, you can't go off that, but what I have seen recently against fighters that are similar to myself, I think that I punch harder and I'm physically stronger and I think I've got more heart than both Singleton and Eggington, and I think that'll give me the advantage come July the 8th.
Well, like you said, you both fought Sam Eggington, and you almost shocked the British boxing, to be honest, because it was a late notice fight, and no one really expected it, and you put him on his ass, and you were that close to getting that belt. So
Surprised he got up, he was.
Yeah, it was a great shot.
Fucking good shot.
It was a hell of a shot.
So, like you say, you carry the power, and you can hurt. Do you think Eggington's got a better chin or a tougher chin?
I don't think he's got a chin like any of us. I'd still be sleeping now if that caught me. Like, I think he's got an incredible chin. You've seen that's what he does. He lets people hit him. And, he's something
He did that
else.
with Gavin as well.
Yeah,
He took a
just
lot in the face,
lets his opponents hit him just to show that he's hard. Like, But like I said, I'd probably still be coming around now if I got caught to that shot.
Obviously, Skeet is a slicker boxer than you see. Egginton's there for a war.
Yeah, and he's there to be at. Skeet isn't. So I think that what I'm saying now, I'm just saying the advantage I have over previous opponents. But Skeet he's not going to be there to be hit. But if I can get inside him, if I can get in there, I do think that'll be the telling.
That is the main obstacle you've got is finding a way past that jab and getting in to land the shots that you know will hurt him.
Yeah, he's looking past you a bit. Because
he is. I was going to get on to that as well. There's things on social media, like you just mentioned about going on to world level and things. They're talking Pacquiao doing a world tour, today, and he's like, I'm here. I think they're overlooking me. They think they're underestimating me. I'm not. I'm probably not going to be world champion. I'll admit now, I'm probably not going to be. But I definitely think I can be a British champion, and Skeet's in the way of that. And what's going to happen now if I upset the odds now on July the 8th? What happens to his world title plans?
You can literally,
do you know what I mean? So
rip the rug.
Yeah. But there's nothing more I'd want than that either. I'd love to just upset it all, and they got these plans now. Once I'm apparently out of the way and they're going on to world level, and I'd love to just put a stop to that, with a nice knockout, hopefully.
Yeah, because like we said, when you land, you will hurt him. There's no doubt about that. In terms of boxing at the Copper Box, that's a nice place to box, but will it affect you in any way, boxing that far from home? Or?
No, it's what I've done my whole career. I wouldn't say I've had things my way my whole career. I've to get on a show, I've had to shift so many tickets, or I've had to be the away fighter on a show across the bridge, and it doesn't affect me. If it probably feels strange me having a home crowd behind me, and I think. It's probably a cliche to say that I sort of thrive off, the sort of hostile crowd and the boos and things like that. With Egginton, that's how it was with Egginton when I had that, 10-day notice for the British title shot. I didn't win, but I got booed in and I got cheered out, and I think that's what I'd like to do, in the next one as well,
Oh, leave with a belt, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly.
What's the reaction been like in terms of? Have you had any idea of the type of support you're going to take down there? Or?
Yeah, quite a lot. I'll definitely clear the 100 tickets, which for me is it's a massive amount, because we're in Swansea now. My lot live an hour and a half further down west. So it's up to London. They're talking now. It's probably a 7-hour bus journey. So. In the past, we've gone up to Sheffield. We've been to Birmingham. They follow me everywhere. I'm grateful for people that buy tickets for every fight, and they give up their Saturdays or their Fridays, whatever, to come and support me. And they put their hands in their pockets and spending their money to come and support me. So it's it goes a long way, and I do appreciate it.
We've touched on it before. The fact that. Do you think, obviously, because you're from Wales, and not just Wales, but so far west in Wales, I think that's been a hindrance in your career?
Yeah, probably. I'm not going to say possibly. I think it is. Yeah. Who in Wales has had the exposure that some English fighters that aren't even that good? There's some fighters that get, the masses of publicity, the exposure, everything, and they're not actually that good as a boxer. When they've stepped it up, they've been found out, they've been stopped or whatever. But it's because of the city that they live in, the following that they get, the hype and all this, and people buy into that and people follow it, and that makes them a fantastic, massive name then. But I can't think of a Welsh fighter that's had that. We
say about Ashley Brace every week. She's the first female boxer from Wales to win a professional title. and there's no cover. She didn't even get in a local paper.
She's doing
Exactly,
awesome
yeah.
as well. She
And
isn't
that
she?
was it.
Exactly.
Natasha Jonas. She just turned pro the other day, and they were all over her. She was
Yeah.
on Sky Sports and
Yeah,
everything.
well,
And,
this is it, isn't it?
Even who's that bird who's just signed with McGuigan?
oh, the Scottish bit, no, the
She
Irish
fought
bit.
in Cardiff.
Chantal, I say.
Chantal.
Oh, she boxed, didn't she? the
Chantal
other day?
Cameron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
well, you know what I mean? Ashley Brace, like you say, got a WBC international title. Chantal Cameron, Simon McGuigan, she was in the papers and on TV and
Yeah.
all over social media. Nobody knows who Ashley Brace is outside Wales,
It's just-
and it's because she's Welsh.
Yeah, it's not the boxer's fault either. Like, you know, it's just. I know it sounds like we're feeling sorry for ourselves, but
No,
it is
no.
because we are Welsh. We just
But
it's,
if he lived
there's-
in Bristol,
yeah, there's no big promotions around here. Like, you know, we have the small shows that keeps us going. We just have to be happy with, like, you know, because it's either that or nothing, or you know, sometimes like I've been lucky enough to be on undercard of Gavin Rees when he was fighting. Like, you know that I think Gary sorted out a deal that when Gavin fights, I'm on the undercard. Like, you know, but now he's retired, that's not an option for me anymore. But it's always, you know, it's nice to be on them shows because, you know, sometimes they're live. They are live on telly, and sometimes I was fortunate enough to get a live slot as well. But there's nothing anymore. There's nothing.
you at the moment are one of the, along with Ian Williams and obviously the Selbys, are the sort of the top of the tree when it comes to Welsh boxing. And like Jay here has got, we'll go on to it later, but has got the Commonwealth title, and people just look straight past it.
Yeah.
It's taken a Commonwealth title for someone like Jay to even be noticed, even though he's undefeated. And
Yeah, as I was saying to him just now, I said, like, you know what, you know, he's boxing in the Brangwyn Hall now.
Yeah.
It's nice for him to box in his hometown, but you know, he should.
the Commonwealth champion.
Yeah, he's a Commonwealth champion,
Yeah.
and there should be other, you know, fighters at least wanting to fight. You know, for a Commonwealth title in his weight category, he should be calling him out, or there should be.
You jumping it when you someone offered it to
There
you,
should be
like-
something
That's what I
going
did,
on.
I
Like,
jumped
you know,
it as soon as it was
and
offered
his
to me.
promoter should be setting right. That's, you know, saying that's your next date. That's when you're defending. Do you know what I mean? So he knows in his head, not he's won it, and that's that. Like, you know. So
Well, we'll talk about the Brangwyn Hall show and obviously Jay winning the Commonwealth title shortly after this.
Welcome back, guys, to part 2. So Jay, big fight coming up on the 22nd July, non-title fight. Let's talk about you winning the title first of all.
Yeah.
So it was your first 12-rounder.
Yeah.
Step up in class.
Big step up in class compared to the last ones it was. But yeah, he pushed me for the full 12 rounds, to be honest. I felt that coming into the 7th, I was starting to get a bit tired then, and then somehow I got like a little bit of a second win in the 10th, 11th, no, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And basically, I thought I won the fight then, so I basically got on my bike again on the 12th round and just held and kept on. As Gary said, I was like a pixie fairy, he said, running around. But I got the job done, so it was a massive experience. You know, from stepping up, I only boxed like 6 rounds before that. Never went any higher, didn't do any 8s, and then to say like Jay fighting 12 rounds, I was like, oh, all right, and got to do the sparring, got to get. But in my head, I was like, I've trained for the 12, so I'm fit enough for the 12 end. So it did come on in the fight then. So
He was quite a draining fight, was when he was come forward. You know, you catch him with shots, and he was coming forward all
he
the time.
took everything, fair dues. When I watched him on YouTube, I watched him against Ian Butcher, and that's all he did for the fight, was just kept on coming forward. So I knew I was going to be in for a bit of a tear up anyway. So that's what I prepared myself for, and we just practiced on moving. Even though I knew I made silly mistakes in the fight, I'm gonna do it. But we just taken that now and worked on them in the gym. So hopefully on the 22nd of July now, when fighting Swansea, they come into play, and I do a good job on the boy when I'm fighting. But I don't know who I'm fighting. So
Did you going into the title fight? Obviously, it was a 12-rounder, but previous to that, you lost like 5 or 6 opponents who'd stopped, which in flyweight doesn't really happen a lot. So you obviously carry power for the weight.
Yeah.
And like I say, you stopped 6 in a row. Did you think I'm going to stop this guy, or did you obviously you prepared for the 12, but did you think it was going to go?
I thought it was like a good possibility that I could do it, but in my head I was just thinking, if it goes a distance, it goes a distance. If I get the stoppage, I get the stoppage, but I'm not going out there to look for the stoppage because
you could have blown
I could have blown my gas. That's what the learning curve was as well. I was in the fight as well. I could have thought, maybe I should have gone for a bit better in certain rounds and stuff like that. But in my head, I was thinking, what if I gas out? But
and then I'm not. As well, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I'm knackered for the next round then, and I was like, so in my head in the fight I was like, if I, because I could see he was a bit tired as well, and I thought I'll get on him now. But if I thought, well, if I wear myself out and he can see that I'm like, oh God, and then he comes on top of me and so I just try to pace myself through the fight. Just
arena, you got everyone on top of you, so like all the crowd, everyone's looking down, so it feels a bit enclosed as well, doesn't it? So when he's on you all the time.
Yeah, it was. I took about 50 up with me, or 60 people up, and Fed was, they put all my mates up on the balcony, so they just felt like they were in the ring with me. So you could hear them all screaming, everything, and then my family and that were on the ring, but the boys and even they got mentioned on the TV and stuff like that.
It panned to them when you had the belt, and they were all going nuts. And
they got,
great.
Is it Steve Bruce or Steve Bunce?
Steve Bunce. Yeah.
He was saying, this in your backyard, but it sounds like it. Like, so they had a good. Good.
Brother got on TV as well, didn't he?
Yeah, just screaming his head off on the top of him like this.
What do we say about, obviously you've got to try not get excited in case you gas out. Know when you dropped, it made me think, know when you dropped Eggington.
Just say, yeah.
What was you thinking, I've got to go for it now, this is it? Or was you half thinking, if obviously we didn't expect him to get up from our shot?
Yeah, no, he got up quick as well, didn't he?
Was you half thinking, I got all the bit?
But like I think my mentality's like completely changed as since I've turned pro. When as you progress, you do more and more rounds. When you're amateur, you do 3 or 4 rounds, and like I used to just go hell for leather for the 3 or 4 rounds, and you know after the 3 or 4 rounds, that's it, it's done, dusted. But I think when you got a 12-round fight, obviously when I've done 6 and 8, you still can't do it then. But with a 12-round fight, he got up, he was fresh, he's as fresh as a daisy like when he got up, and I just thought, the way he got up, I just thought, right, if I try and stop him here again and he goes down and he gets back up again, it's going to be a long 10 rounds afterwards. So I just...
loads of fights now, people have gone hell for leather, haven't put the guy away, and then they've gone, oh God, I'm Jesus Christ, what's happening now?
Jab and move for this round.
Do you know what I mean?
If I did jump on him and tried to finish him and it didn't happen, it could have been... The tables could have turned and I could have been stopped later on, but it was that fight was just a case of me just getting through every round because I didn't have the fitness for the 12 rounds. No, with 10 days notice, like not for a 12 round fight.
You were training for a 4-round fight as well, before
in Newport, which I was half committed myself to because as they do on these small old shows, the deals change, the opponent changes, the weight change, and my head was just gone. And I had a few days off the gym, and I had a phone call then saying, you're fighting on this. He said, you're off that. I think it was a Newport show. You're off anyway. I said, I wasn't going to do it anyway. He said, because you're on the 17th of October. And I was thinking, the date rang a bell. I said, that's the same night as Gavin and Eggington. He said, yeah. He said, Gavin's out. He said, you're in. I was like, fucking hell. But it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I actually ran upstairs and running stuff on. I went up for a run. I got in about 12 or something like that. My head was on then, so.
The domino was away.
Yeah. Kicked it into the carpet.
Jay, we touched briefly on the last part. Like you say, Dale, Liam Williams, the Selbys have all got exposure television-wise, although Dale not quite as much as maybe he deserves. We said, you've got, and I've said this on previous podcasts as well, you've gone totally under the radar. Even with the belt, the belt's obviously giving you exposure.
Yeah.
But up until that, there is people, and this is not disrespect, there's people in Swansea that don't know who Jay Harris is, which is absolutely mind-boggling, to be honest. And I looked up your opponents, and I think it was last 5. It's not like you've been fighting bums. You know what I mean? Your last 5 opponents, I think the records were They've had 5 defeats and 27 wins between them all. So you've been fighting top boys in your division as well. So for you, it's just, I can't get my head around the fact that you were not, poster boy for the division. It's crazy.
I haven't got a clue, to be honest. It's alright. Like you got like Liam Williams and stuff. It's great for them. Like he's like the big name in Wales at the minute, and he's with Warren as well. And he does bring the rest of us through as well. But to be honest, I haven't had much exposure to be honest with that. But there was a fight I fought in Cardiff as well. I think I missed the TV slot by one fight or something.
The Williams court run?
Yeah, that one. And I knocked the fella out.
Yeah, and I wrote the article on it, and you were the most impressive. I was most impressed with you on the night out of everyone.
And they didn't show it.
What about me?
He was good. He was all right.
I borrowed a ticket to watch you two and I missed both their fights. I turned up. I seen you by the toilet today. So what time you on? I fought.
Yeah, I knocked that fella, and then I knocked the boy out the fight after that, and then I got the shot to have that then. But other than that, I didn't get much. There's no big hype about me, I don't think.
Do you know what it is? You could be an absolute terrible boxer, but if you acted like a clown and you gobbed off to everyone, people.
Make some noise,
yeah, but
I
don't think I'm that type of person, just be on like Twitter saying, oh, whoever's in my weight, oh, come on, I'll fight you whenever. Yeah. I know some people say you should be like that just to get a bit of publicity.
You shouldn't have to, should you? That's what you're.
I'm always like the thing of if I call this person out and start giving him abuse and whatever, and I fight him and I get knocked out. I look like a dickhead, don't I? I'm like, oh great, I've done all that now. Called him out, got the fight, and then I've gone and got myself knocked out. So I'd rather just be like...
Just say you were injured or something else.
The flu or something.
If someone just calls me out or whatever, I just take whatever fight comes my way, really.
I know what you're saying, but that belt there, that's a top belt. You know what I mean? Domestically,
it's a good belt, yeah.
It's a top belt, and that should automatically have a target on your back in a good way. That people should want to fight you, and people should want to put you on TV.
To be honest, not many people have even called me out. I think Louis Norman tried. He was like, oh, it'll be good for himself and me to fight each other. But then
he's on a bad run.
But he's on a bad run at the minute. Yeah. So
should be an easy defence, and you should take
I don't care whatever happens, innit?
Yeah.
I just whatever they give me, I'll take normally. Yeah. But I've never turned down anything. But
so the big name in your division at the minute, Salvi, innit?
Yeah, he's a big one.
I know there was meant to be a fight between you before you got offered it.
It was offered, I think, for the British early on. I think I was only on my 5th fight, maybe 6th, maybe when he won it. And to be honest, guy said, I'm not ready for it yet. And then nothing's come across since, to be honest. And now he's gone on to world level now, and obviously. But I think it could be something in the future, maybe, for wherever.
Yeah, you've sort of got to be looking in that direction.
Yeah, I have to be in it.
Like I say, with the World Series of Boxing, obviously he's had sort of a platform before he even turned pro. People were waiting for him with the Olympics and things. So he sort of had a boost, and some people will say rightly so because of what he's achieved in the amateur game. But as soon as he turned and had a couple of fights, I've seen a fair bit, a couple of your mates as well, giving him a bit of jip on Twitter and Facebook.
They love my mates love giving people abuse. I don't even know why. It's like, stop it, like it just gets me in trouble, doesn't it?
You're abusing the wrong Salvi,
yeah, it just gives you in trouble. They're like, and then you're like, oh, we'll have it and stuff. I think one of my mates was just abusing the hell out of him, and I was just like, oh God. And then my manager saying, who the hell is this boy like? And I was like, it's nothing to do with me. I have no control over this at all. So it does happen, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, and we'll come to that. And obviously you mentioned Gary, and you've gone with Tony Borg. So after this, we'll touch on those. Welcome back, guys. Right, just before the break, we mentioned obviously you're trained by Gary Lockett, and we'll go to you, Dale, because last few months, obviously you used to be trained by Gary, and now you've gone with Tony, Tony Borg up in Newport. What's that been like?
It's been brilliant, yeah. There's with the gym in Cardiff, Gary he's got just his professional fighters, but this is like an old school sort of old school.
It's a tough old gym.
Yeah, the decoration, everything is just all old school, isn't it? You mean old posters, everything, from youngsters right the way up to the likes of world champion Lee Selby and Tony. He graphs before, whether you're a 8-year-old boy or with Lee, myself, he grafts and he put the time in with everyone, and I'm enjoying it there. I like the vibe there. It's good. It's really good.
It's a tough old gym, isn't it? I went up there once and to watch a bit of sparring and stuff. Gary Buckland was sparring some guys from Scotland, I think. And after about 4 or 5 rounds, Tony shouts in, "Gary, where's your gum shield?" I don't know. He'd been sparring for 5 rounds with no gum shield.
He did. The boys was Lee, and the boys say like he wouldn't put a head guard on or anything like that. So when I first started there, he had like this stupid hat on. I said, "What the hell is he wearing?" Do you know a scrum hat? And
That's I see him sparring.
He was sparring in the scrum hat. That was like too big. He used to come on his head and then honestly, he doesn't care, does he?
It's a, like you say, it's an old school gym.
Yeah.
With a real, I found like, I've been up Gary's as well, but Tony's is like a real like sort of tough mentality. You've got to be tough to survive in there, I think, haven't you? Because the sparring sessions are bit legendary, really.
Yeah.
So what's the sparring been like up there?
It's brilliant. There's like I said, it's a boxing gym, so there's more boys there, so, and the variety is obviously better. But no, it's good, really good. With my upcoming fight now, I got a choice of Skeet's a lot bigger than me, so there's plenty of other bigger boys to spar. There's boys that have got a similar style, like Lee Selby, that slick sort of style.
I was just going to say that. How perfect is that? Because Skeet's obviously very slick and relaxed. You're not going to get much better than Selby, Andrew Selby, and even Robbie Turley to that extent, because he's all relaxed and that sort of style as well. So it's
Craig Evans as well. He's pretty similar to his style.
I think you fly back from Ireland this weekend. He's fighting this weekend. He's Commonwealth. He's Commonwealth, was he defending? WBO European. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, he's
a fight as well.
He's got a tough fight.
But how do you, like you say, you're enjoying it up there? But what differences are there? What's Tony given you that you haven't had before, if you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? Gary's a very good trainer, and he puts a lot of time in with all the boys. But I think you could put me in a. No, you can put me in here. I'm gonna and you give me. I'm gonna work hard wherever I am. It's just it's my mentality. But one thing is better. It's a bit. It's less than half a distance for starters. But it's like I say, I wouldn't say. I think this is the first fight where Tony now can put a lot more of his time into me than he has in my last one, because my last one I was training for that 4 round in the Brangwyn Hall with a sore arm. If you remember, back in March I had to pull out of a Welsh title fight because of I've had injections in my arm. I was in the physio more than I was in the gym, and he couldn't really do a lot to me. He couldn't do pads. He couldn't hardly it in the bag, and you can't really prepare for any fight, regardless of the size of the fight. With if you're injured, but this fight, all the injuries are sound, and after Tony's back from this weekend with Craig, now he can put, which he already has done this week. You can put a bit more time, and we can have a bit more one-to-one sessions, So I think it'll only be now that I'll see what he does different,
We're quite lucky in Wales to have those two trainers quite close together as well, aren't they? Because they're probably the best two trainers in the UK.
Two of the best in Britain, aren't they? So and now you sort of have best of both worlds. You've had
Yeah,
really, only.
yeah. Like I said earlier, when myself and Gary parted, I couldn't think of anybody else that was an option. You know, they think there is only, you know, Gary or Tony that are,
Yeah.
you know, that were options for
With
me.
the
you know.
level you're at,
Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
that's really the only avenue
Yeah.
you're going to go down in Wales, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
You have to move to England otherwise when you're in Joe
yeah.
Gallagher's gym or something like that.
But like you
um,
say, it's with the way boxing is,
Yeah.
you'll only have certain people with need. Do you know what I mean? It's not just like you can walk into that gym and you're there. You've got to be, you know, if your face fits, sort of thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
We won't go into it because obviously you've been asked and you've talked about it, and the interviews are all there for you, for people to see. But your last fight in the Bramham Hall was a 4-rounder, and on your shorts, classy touch. You obviously had Iron Mike's name on, and you've talked about before this title fight obviously means that much more because you want to win it for both of you, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that done. I just, you know, it's it's, you know, the tragedy. It got to me, like, you know, and I had a bit of time off from the boxing, and I just thought it'd be something nice to have, and it's, you know, that'll be there for the rest of my boxing days, like, you know.
Respectful as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's
it
nice.
was super well received on what I seen on social media. It is a classy touch, and the way it was prominent at the front with the Scottish flag on it, it's just perfect, really.
No, like I said, it'll be there for the rest of my days, and, you know, I sort of thought this, you know, poor boy's lost his life trying to better himself, trying to better his family, and we were both there to try and, you know, that was like the stepping stone to the British title, and, you know, he can no longer do it. So I just thought it's sort of like he's with me, still on the path to it, like, you know. So I don't know, I just thought it'd be something nice, like, you know, and I'm glad that people have, you know, have seen the nice sort of touch to it, like,
classy touch. Obviously, it's been because, like I say, you were in Gary Locke's camp, and you were still there. Obviously, with the Nick Blackwell situation as well, it must be difficult for both of you to deal with these. They are rare occurrences, but unfortunately, you've both been affected by these two tragedies.
Like
really.
Nick Blackwell, innit? Like after his like brain injury with the Eubank fight, innit?
Yeah.
After he got fully recovered, and then he went and gone. Like someone actually let him go and spar.
I know, yeah.
I just found that.
I don't necessarily blame Nick because he's a fighter, and given half a chance, he's going to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
It was
you
up
can't
to the
blame
trainer.
Nick for that.
He needed to say, look,
is.
you've got a brain injury. Let's just don't.
But your mates and stuff, they'd say to you as well, and they're like, what the fuck you doing, like, you know?
I think it's a case of, like you say, there's a boxer's mentality, isn't it? And he's like, when I was with him, he said, no, I'm fine now. Do you know what I mean?
He seemed fine.
Yeah.
Seemed fine, but like I say, it must be hard for both of you with those two. And like I say, we're not going to delve too much into it because all the interviews are there for everybody to see and people know. But I just wanted to touch on the classy gesture I saw on the last fight. But Jay, we'll go into your fighting on the Bramham Hall on the 22nd of July.
Yeah.
Great that it's a home show.
Good local support.
Yeah, and like you say, you normally take 50 to 60 people away.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
First one in Swansea, is it?
First one, yeah. So I'm hoping to have like a good following down there, to be honest. But I have no idea what opponent I got yet or anything like that. But yeah, the tickets have been going good. So we hopefully, and it's not a bad bill, to be honest. There's some good fighters on it.
a lot of domestic fighters, a lot of Swansea boys.
Yeah, there's a good couple of, Ricky Owen's making a comeback as well.
Yeah.
Toolsy's on it. And you got Alex Hughes on it now, Zach Davis.
Alex Hughes has been confirmed.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
We're tagged in the post on Twitter.
Are we?
He tags us in every post, yeah.
So it's
Rubbing like.
So looking at it, there's some good fighters on it. It's turning up to be a nice bill, like, in Swansea.
How often do you get to see, you know, a Commonwealth champion fighting in the Bramham Hall?
True, very true. But on the flip side of it, you should be fighting in somewhere like the Copper Box as well, in my opinion. You're the Commonwealth champion at the end of the day.
It's just been a bit of a dry spell, to be honest. And as Guy said, he said, take this fight just to keep
Taking over, yeah.
Taking over
you've got
in
to
the
keep
ring.
busy, haven't you? You've got to.
And then maybe later in the year or something, defend that then against. But as long as I keep busy,
yeah,
and
otherwise
not,
you're going to be rusty when
like
when it comes time to defend the belt.
One spell, I think I went about 8 months without fighting. Can't go anywhere. We was just saying this earlier. We can't go anywhere. Can't go on holiday. Can't.
On the off chance you get the call.
Yeah, on the off chance you can say, Jay, you're on this fight. Get ready, like. But and it doesn't really bother me that I'm fighting on. It's home. It's great. All the family, all my friends are coming down.
Yeah.
People who don't come away and stuff like that are coming down to see. Perhaps to give me more publicity and as well. Like people want to come and watch a weigh-in, and some will take us, London, anywhere I go then. But it's all right. I don't mind.
Nice to be home, I suppose.
Yeah, it's nice to be home.
You said you got to keep busy as well.
Yeah, you don't want to get rusty, do you? You don't want to get rusty. Is that something you found in the last fight with Kevin McCauley?
Yeah, that fight, it was only a 4-rounder. It was a case of just getting back in there. Whatever rust was there, get it off, and just get the rounds and get the feel of it again. Because obviously after what happened last year, I didn't know how I'd feel in there, and it was just a fight that I needed to get out of the way, and obviously a fight, like I say, to keep busy.
Right, we'll talk about the details of your upcoming fights and how people can get all the tickets, etc. Back after this.
Welcome back, guys, to part 4. We're going to start a bit of a tradition. Got to apologise to Lou Long and Ricky Wright. We didn't think about this last week. We got a Turn the Lights Out podcast poster. You've seen on Instagram. This was it my kitchen or your kitchen?
Yours.
Yours, yeah. We had it up in the background.
So every week, the guests, we're going to have to sign somewhere, wherever they want. If you don't, watch the belt. So if you don't mind, guys.
Don't touch that.
And then if anybody wants to make us a ridiculous offer to buy it, then brilliant. You've got an easy name to spell, G. One letter, eh?
Nice one, guys.
Cheers, boys.
It's a nice one.
It's my school one.
Right, great, guys. We were talking before we come on air about the difficulties it is for professional boxers in terms of working and trying to find sponsorship. And not many people know. People just think a professional boxer must be minted, it must be easy. But like Jay, you still work, don't you?
Yeah.
A full-time job as well as being champion.
Oh, I've cut down now. I'm part-time now, yeah. Down to Thursday and Friday nights now.
That's not even working, is it?
It is, especially when you're working nights, Jesus.
But yeah, like you say, you're still working, but Dale, you're in a not enviable position because it's something that all top boxers should have, really. But you're lucky enough to have a sponsor that enables you to train full time, no?
Yeah, it was a drunken chat in a taxi on a night out in Carmarthen, and I somehow ended up in this taxi with Jason and Wynne, who own Castle Scaffold in Carmarthen, and Jason and Wynne were saying, we'll sponsor him, I said, oh look, just be quiet. You know,
You heard it all before.
Yeah, I've heard it all before. It's the start name. So I said, I'll sponsor you, and then you didn't nothing of it. And the next thing, this number rang me. I was like, hello, and he said, Dale, it's Jason. I was like, Jason who? And he explained him what view, and fair play to them. They've come on board and they've stuck with me. They said they'd sponsor me in my British title eliminator, fund me a weekly wage running up to the fight, and they've continued it, and I've been able to live the life of a fighter ever since, which is like you just said, every professional boxer needs that support. If you're going on to win titles like Jay and beyond, you need that support to begin with, But I take my hat off to any fighter that I done it myself for years that works and trains full time. You know, there's
You used to lay concrete or something.
yeah,
didn't you?
I was laying. No, I was getting up at, you know, when I trained for a fight. I used to cut down on the running when in between fights, but I used to be in the gym every night regardless. But I used to get up at 4 in the morning, do 6 mile run or whatever. I used to come home, shower, change, take my boxing, pack my boxing bag, always do the night before, chuck that in my car, go do a day's work. On the way home from work, I used to go to the gym and do a couple of hours in the gym in the night then, you know, and just doing one day of that, I challenge any normal person just to do one day of that. But you do that for, you know, a 6-8 week camp for a fight, like, you know, it's.
You can't give up either, can you? Because you need the wage and you need to train, so you can't.
Yeah, it's just like you say, it's like a catch-22. Then, like, you know, it's. But for a while, I definitely couldn't give up my job because, you know, I had bills to pay, and. I needed to try and progress in the boxing. You know, I was hardly ever fighting. You know, for years I only fought like twice a year, which is it isn't enough. But that's out of my hands. So, you know, how often I fight. But you know, I believe that, like I said earlier, I believe I can win a British title. So I needed to stick at the boxing to try and get it. You know, and if you get to that level and beyond, then you know
the money comes in.
Yeah, exactly. But you need them. You know, the little fights in between where you're in. I will say here you're in pennies, you know, that don't really do nothing to the bank account. You need them, you know, just sacrifice a bit. You know, you need them to progress. So, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the impression I get from people outside of boxing, like they look at Jay, for instance, now, Commonwealth title holder, and they see other Commonwealth title holders in other weight divisions and they're on Matchroom Sports or Frank Warren or whatever. No, they look at Jay and think, he must be minted, he must be loaded.
No,
he's a champion of the Commonwealth.
He's like, oh, when are you giving up, Ben?
And you've still got
like, I can't afford to give it up yet. Do you know what
like you say,
I still have to.
You're still working 2 nights a week and trying to train.
Yeah.
Obviously, you travel up to Cardiff, and I know your father trains you in Swansea.
Yeah, he trains me down here, and then I go up the Gary when I got to fight like twice a weekend, just to train with the boys and something different as well. Not seeing my old man all the time, like, but it's like a break. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll give a shout out to your old man as well.
It's like different training and seeing different people. It's nice. It's a good.
What's it like? Be trained by your father? Is it difficult sometimes? Because obviously father-son relationship and so on, but with your father being an ex-British champion as well.
And he can ground you, so if you mouth
no doubt. So is it difficult sometimes?
It can be sometimes. It's not so much the training stuff, it's over food. Like, he likes to know what I'm eating and what I'm cutting down. He's only looking out for me, to be honest. He's looking.
But he's eating his pie and chips, like.
Yeah, that kills me. That does, you know. Just someone does that. I'm eating a salad or something like that. Someone orders a curry. So I'm off. I'm going.
Do you know what? I don't mind it. See, people get, but it's when people make an issue. You probably when you were fighting, when people, I don't know if I should eat this in front of you. I feel bad. Just eat it. No,
I'm gonna have to have some now.
When people make an issue of it, if that's what pisses me off. But if they just leave me eat my. Lick my lettuce leaf and my spud. I don't mind, like, you know, but it's when people make a big issue of it that they feel bad for me because they're eating chips in front of me. That's when it pisses me off. Like,
what used to make me laugh with you sort of
after my fights, is it?
And before, when you were looking for fights, you put on like, come on, give me a fight. I'm on my diet, and you put a picture of turkey jets and
the ketchup things.
So you've got quite a good social media following, I mean, because you take things sort of like, you make a joke of certain things like that. Do you know what I mean?
You've got to know what you mean. This, the game's hard enough as it is, so I think you've got to have a bit of fun, along the way as well. And it's just, there are characters in boxing, and I consider myself to be a bit of a dim sometimes. Like, you just got to have a bit of fun. I mean.
Right. So we've covered, obviously, you're fighting Bradley Skeet for the British title. You're fighting hometown fight, 22nd of July. How can they how can people get tickets? So we'll go with Dale first, and then Jake can tell us how we can get tickets.
No, like you see, every fighter, they've got to plug and to try it. Yeah, it's hard work, but on all my social media accounts, it's always on there. So just get in touch with me, or there's a guy back home, one of my friends who I target, Adrian Owens. He does, because obviously, like I said, I'm living up in Mega now, so which is past Newport. It's hard for me to personally hand out tickets, and I guess it's costly sending all the tickets out. So I got someone at home who sells them for me. Then
What's your Twitter account so people can get hold of you?
I don't know from the top, mate.
I think it's Dale_Evans912.
You've been paving, You've been paving, mate.
My job.
Going from Instagram, like it's, oh, that's a nice one. Oh, that's a nice one.
Top off in that.
Oh, what do you look like with hair? Oh, I like that one.
That's an old picture.
Just my head, didn't see. They've stitched me up with the
you've got hair in
like a full head of hair.
Yeah, he's looking for you on the poster. When
that's not Hill. They got it wrong, yeah.
You're gonna get the ring, what happened to him?
Yeah.
Hard cap.
Don't fucking change that.
Chainsaw.
That's happened to you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what happened to me. How can people get hold of you, Jay? Obviously, like you say, you've got a usual 60 people, but if they want to get hold of you,
just go on my Facebook, inbox me, or my Twitter is, I think it's jharris19, and yeah, DM me anything if you want tickets.
Not anything like that.
Not anything. No, not anything.
Do you fancy a bump on the back? Don't you cunts get out.
No, just if you want tickets, just to DM me.
Send
not
me a
anything,
dirty
not for a bum
picture
or
of,
anything like that.
we'll rewind slightly, but obviously we didn't touch on sponsors with you, Jay, and I know you're actively always looking, because ideally you want to be in a position.
Yeah, I'd love it
in.
if I could get a full-time sponsor, put me on their books, and I could train full-time. But yeah, if there's anybody willing
Look
to do
straight
that,
down the camera and tell them.
if there's anybody willing to do that,
Sign me up.
get in contact. I'll be more than happy to work out some details with you and sort something out. But at the moment, the two main ones are Data Cabs and Richmond Sports Apparel. They sponsor me every year, to be honest. But any more would be great. Would be a great help for me, to be honest.
Before we wrap it up, obviously it's a bit difficult. You don't know who your opponent is yet on the show, but Dale, have you got anything you want to say to Bradley Skeet?
I got nothing to say to him. I'm just one thing I have got to say, is that I shouldn't be overlooked, and which I am. They're on about this world level, and Pacquiao doing his world tour and all this, but they're in for a shock July the 8th. I promise you.
You have to get a bigger table when you come back for both belts.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So Dale, when you win, you're gonna have to come back on with your shiny new belt and tell us how the fight went, because you will win. So once again, all the best. Thanks for coming on. And you, Jake, all the best.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on. Guys, you can get our audio podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud. Just type in Turn the Lights Out podcast and it should come up. The links should be by here somewhere. So that's episode 2. Thanks for watching.